Namaste, good morning. I hope I'm audible, I'm clear to all of you. The topic given to me is the functions of the astral body. So before I start talking about in detail, I would like to show this picture which shows primarily all our 7 bodies. As we all can see, this is just next to my physical body while I penetrate inwards from the periphery to the center of my being. This body is composed of matter that belongs to the astral plane. We all know the other planes. It has different subplanes also. We can examine its phenomena with our astral senses as we do for the physical world through our physical senses. While we understand the aspects of astral body, we would also know what are our desires, what are our emotional nature, and while we know them, we will get some understanding. We also get to find out how do we control and purify this astral body. The very same way we treat cleanliness of our physical body, there is always a way to clean our astral body. The basic functions of the astral body, if I refer to the book Self Culture in the Light of Ancient Wisdom by Brother I.K. Taimni, it clearly says the basic functions or the elementary functions are converting the vibrations and again converting the quality of things into feelings. All of us as human beings get exposed to multiple vibrations every day, day in, day out. Lot of sensations come to us through our physical body. Interestingly, all our bodies are so interconnected, so minutely, so subtly, so complicatedly interconnected that everything happens in one plane affects the other. Thus, whenever I get some experience, some vibrations, some sensations through my physical sense, like my sense organs, it also kind of reaches to the physical as well as the mental as well as the astral. So parallelly all the bodies are starting to work. Thus there are many vibrations we experience, and some of them are very pleasant to us, some of them are not pleasant. When something is pleasant to us, we want to experience more and more of that. As human beings, we always want to have good things, and we start avoiding, start repelling the pain, the unpleasant stuff from our life. That is why all this conversion of sensations into feelings come under the functions of the astral body. Now when we are talking about expecting to want more and more of what is pleasant to us, from there arises this desire. So what we do is we get caught in these attractions and repulsions every day, and those create bonds with us, they bind us. That is why we keep on expecting to have more and more of pleasant things. Now this is an essential nature of desire which draws a person towards the particular object. It could be a person, a place, an experience, even the food item, the very food item we eat somewhere outside and we like it. We want to go there once more, to explore it once more. It could be the food, it could be any kind of experience while we see something like a visual experience or something which we really find very happy inside. We want to do it once more. We want to go there once more. That is where desire gets created. That means some power is working while it is creating other desire. This is the presence of the power. The same power, when converts to a willpower, it brings us from desire to will. So the very same power is also the willpower we have. That is why when I say desire versus will, power is the same, but it plays the role of a desire or a will. That is why to understand on a day-to-day basis, what are my emotional habits? Like we all have habits, physical habits like waking up early or waking up late, being lazy or being energetic, talking much or contemplating inside, always being in angry mood or on silent and happy mood. These are all our habits. We ourselves have created this. And such emotional habits are also there. So how do we correct our emotional habits? First of all, we should know where from these emotions come from. They come from two primary emotions like love and hate. Very distinguishingly, we will see that either we like something or dislike something. The more we focus on the like things, the similar things will get attracted. And whenever something we dislike happens, we kind of hate that. No, I don't want this. Why is it so? Something like that. So love and hate, you may call it love and hate, you may call it like and dislike, but when it is very, very strong, it creates a habit. All our strong emotions create our habits because we start working on them day in, day out. We start thinking about them day in, day out. Any emotion you pick up, good, bad, forget it. Any emotion you pick up and focus on that, it will become a habit. That's what qualities are like. If somebody is truthful, it's an emotion. Being truthful is an emotion. But when somebody speaks the truth, every single time, it becomes a habit. Somebody has a commitment emotion. I will do this so and so time, particular this time. The more and more the person does it, it becomes a habit. Qualities, emotions are nothing but habits. Or habits are nothing but qualities and emotions. We can look at from both the end. The very same thing we will experience. So leading a virtuous life is not just merely wishing or aspiring to do something, but we have to live it. When we live it, we have to literally go into it, deep down inside that, then only we'll realize. I know it has been very difficult. For me, it has been very difficult to control my anger. I still get angry with little things in my life. But then, when I can kind of go inside, try to figure out why is it so, multiple times you keep on doing it and you will get out of it. I'm sure many of you have overcome that. I can see, I have personally experienced with some of you people. You have grown up like great. You have controlled your emotions so well. So everybody can do it. If a man has done, a man can do. That is the philosophy. So what happens if we go for different stages here? There is an unproductive inertia of kind of doing something, then we get motivated to do something. This exactly happens in case of desire and willpower, where desire gets us to greed, then anger, willpower gets us to a purpose and courage. If you can look inside, if you can look into your own lives, you will realize there are certain activities you would have been doing. But when you look at it, why am I doing it? Actually, it's greed. We want to accumulate. And we don't get it, we find anger. Something doesn't happen, I like something and something different happening, I dislike that, I'm angry. But when there is a willpower far above the desire, that this is something to be done, I must do it, this is the purpose. When we get the purpose, tremendous courage comes into us. That is the strength of willpower. This is how we overcome our emotional qualities. You call it habits, call it anything, but this is the process. When we have positive emotions, it will have an upward spiral. I don't need to explain this, all of you know it. But if we have negative emotions, negative processing, it will have a downward spiral. We'll get into frustration, we'll always be worried. But the very moment we think of something very beautiful, something to be done for a higher cause, not just for selfish cause, but for a selfless service, it will give us joy. It will empower us. This is how the astral body starts functioning. If we actually look at it, this is not a theory. If we start doing it, we'll realize. The very moment I'm into a negative emotion, all the negative emotions of the world are coming to me. The very moment I am putting things straight, happy, optimistically, I'm positive, all positive energy I would be attracting. I am a magnet. yes, I will attract things the way I am. So how do we go from desire to will? Desire is mere sensual gratification. But from there, when we see that this is my family, these are my near and dear ones, let me do something for them, gradually the desire goes from self to others. I know there is no other, but seemingly whatever it is like other, you will look up to that. You will go towards that. Then you desire to serve one's country, your own country, your locality, your community to start with. Then you go beyond your locality, community and country. You become of the world. You become the world. You feel every pulse of the world, every pulse of the universe, every positive, negative things that happens in the world will impact you. You cannot be indifferent. You will feel that this is me. Something going good will give you happiness. Something going bad will give you something. No, I must do something. I know it is always difficult to remove all problems from life, but the willingness of getting into the solution will definitely come. And then the desire to make one's will to one with the will of the Supreme will definitely come. This is a gradual process. It will happen with everyone. A process for everyone. So while doing it, let us take some life lessons. You all know how a tortoise behaves. A tortoise, when it finds distant suggestions of danger, it withdraws all its limbs into itself. It protects. Similarly, when we see the 5 sense organs we have are not giving us very positive vibrations, we might withdraw within. Within is powerful. Within is positive. We all are essentially atoms and molecules. As a student of science, I have studied and you would have studied also. We all have this plus inside and the minus is rotating outside. Every atom functions like that. The plus is always inside. So when I withdraw it towards within and I get inside it, then I learn to be positive. I know things will disturb, things will come and test you. There are situations which will really disturb you. It is disturbing me sometimes. But then, we all need to ask ourselves, what am I within? It definitely gives empowerment. It definitely gives a tremendous power to stay positive, to control our emotions. And as you see this glass of water, I wish I could have clicked a photo of the very story I'm talking about, but this I kind of took it from the internet because I wanted to say a story about it. The story about it is, this 2019 December when we went to Banaras, we traveled by road. So we kind of went to a lot of places, Allahabad, Kanpur, then Banaras. While we were coming back from Banaras, we stayed a night in Lucknow.
Please mute your speaker, mute your microphone. Okay, continue.
So when we were coming back from Banaras via Lucknow, we stayed a night at Lucknow. The hotel we stayed at, it had a great ambience, a very branded hotel. I'm not naming it, and the very sophisticated staff, and the very thing I noticed in the hotel, which really kind of taught us a big lesson to my family at least. What we do in the evening when we went for the dinner, we went down to the dining or the eating place, eating lounge. So what we saw is each table had a folded paper with this photo, a half-filled glass showing need and want. I even asked the waiter who was serving us, why have you kept all this here? While he was serving, he poured half glass of water to us, saying that this is by principle we are doing it. Whatever people need, we are serving. If we serve you a full glass of water and you don't use it, you throw it, that is wastage. What a message. What a life lesson. Sometimes we accumulate whatever we don't even need. We want, that's why we are keeping it here. This is really a great lesson I learned. So we came back, we started practicing it. This is beautiful. I mean, we always do it with the food. We don't, overserve ourselves. But with water, it gave us a lesson. So while we translate it to our own life, it's not about just accumulating. I'll give you one example which I have personally started doing for last maybe 7-8 years. Every time we buy new clothes, equal number of clothes we take away and distribute and we give away. That way, the very almirah we have of clothes is always the same. The quantity is always the same. We cannot just accumulate and keep it there. So when you buy something, equal amount of thing, or at least do not keep things which you don't need. Give it to somebody who is needy. So these are certain things probably we would start doing it. Then I'll come to your story which I recently learned through WhatsApp. My friend had sent, then I thought I should be using it. This is the missing goat story. Many of you would have read it, but let me read it once more. It all started one lazy Sunday afternoon in a small town near Toronto in Canada. Two school-going friends had a crazy idea. They rounded off 3 goats from the neighborhood and painted the numbers 1, 2 and 4. Look at it, 1, 2 and 4. The night they let the goats loose inside their school building, the next morning when the authorities entered the school, they could smell something was wrong. They soon saw goat droppings on the stairs and near the entrance and realized that some goats had entered the building. A search was immediately launched and very soon the 3 goats were found. But the authorities were worried. Where was goat number 3? They spent the rest of the day looking for goat number 3. The school declared classes off for the students for the rest of the day. The teachers, helpers, guards, canteen staff, boys, all were busy looking for the goat number 3, which of course was never found, simply because it didn't exist. Those among us who, in spite of having a good life, are always feeling a lack of fulfillment.
And your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking, not audible properly.
My voice? Hello? Hello? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
No, I can hear very well. I'm Aman Patel, but I can hear you very well from Bombay.
Okay.
I can also hear very well.
Okay. So what happens here is,
Something must be wrong with the Wi-Fi.
okay. So should I continue?
Yes,
Okay.
very, very clear.
So now the number 3 goat is not there and authority is looking for it. They are looking for something which doesn't exist. This happens with some of us in our life. We have a lot of things, but we keep on searching for the missing thing which probably is not existing there. Whatever the area of complaint or dissatisfaction, relationship, job satisfaction, finance, achievements, an absence of something is always greater than the presence of many other things. So basically what we are doing is, if we make a list of what I have and what I do not have, we do not focus on what I have and enjoy that. My focus is always on what I do not have. That's how we are kind of treating with our life. Life would be so much happier without the worries. And don't let the non-existence imaginary goat number 3 waste your time and happiness. Enjoy life with what you have. This is a very interesting story I found. I hope you liked it. Now coming to it, the practical aspect of it, then how do we balance it out? As I said, only accumulating will not help. If we have something, let us give away something. Giving away has magic. This will bring tremendous happiness and peace to your mind, everyone's mind. One more story I would like to share here. Once there was a man, in case my voice is not audible, the story is very much here, you could read it out. Because if I cannot tell it clearly, at least you can start reading along with me. That will help all of us. Once there was a man who had desires larger than life. He tried everything to earn money and fulfill his desires, but did not succeed. One day, he attended a satsang and followed the path of a saint. Now he became a saint and his longing for anything weren't there anymore. He used to be mentally satisfied and happy with practices of yoga meditation. Once he sat long and dedicated prayer to God. God was pleased by his dedication and asked him to demand anything he wanted. The saint replied, "When I used to wish for things, you never gave me. And now when I do not wish for anything anymore, you want me to ask for anything I want? God said, you have conquered your senses of desire, and that is what pleased me. Your desires were the only barrier between you and me. Now that obstacle of desires is no more and your heart is pure, so I want to give you something. The story continues. The saint thought for a while and said, I want power to heal sick people by just single touch, and dry trees come back to their life with my touch. God agreed and granted his wish. The saint stopped for a second and said, I want to make a little change in my wish. I want that I could be able to heal sick people and dry trees not by my touch but by presence of my shadow on that. God inquired, is there any doubt about healing with touch? The saint replied, no, God, but I do not want that people get to know that they can benefit from my touch, because once a person feels that he has the power, he can easily get back in his life circle and desires. Then this power you gave me will do more evil to me than good. Just want to help people in silence. Too much desire is the cause of mental happiness. We should keep a sense of helping others, but without thinking that we are doing a favor. What a good story to learn from. Again, coming to practice in daily routine. I keep on talking about practice in daily routine because that is how I sincerely believe. If I just keep on saying I want to do and I do not do, there is no fun to it. So a couple of things I have noted down how practically we can do. I have practiced certain things, that's why I am writing it here. Creating our own space. When I am able to express fully, fearlessly, without any inhibitions, that will result in peace of mind. That will make me open to face criticism. That will make me accountable to what I say and do. This is how I would start working on my emotion and my words and actions. So I have to create a space in which I can operate. No one else will create for me. I am the creator. No one is going to live my life. No one is going to eat for me, live for me, walk for me, talk for me, live for me. I have to do it. I have to take that ownership. Now coming to bigger to smaller problem. When I think that this is a problem, how long am I going to be there? Can't I convert that problem to a smaller one? This will probably give me some confidence to take it easy. I might change my perception because every problem has its due importance. I cannot just think about the problem for a longer duration. It's up to me how much importance I give to that. So this will take me from a problem to solution zone because problems are meant to be solved. This will give joy. I'll focus on the solution. Anytime something is disturbing us, let us think of what can be done. What can be done? 3 questions I keep on, kind of telling people while I'm at work. I share with my family. I say to myself, week on week we do it. We do a review. What is working? What is not working? What can I do differently? What is working in my life? I must know. What is not working? If I focus, then there is a problem. What can I do differently to approach that problem? There lies the solution. And if I am not a part of the solution, I am part of the problem. We know all about this sentence, and I am sure everybody agrees with it. Again, one of the problem solving approaches, there will be pain. Somebody says something bad about me, something does a harm, there will be pain, no doubt. But why should I suffer? Suffering is a choice. I suffer or not, I prolong that or not is my choice. So if I have to have positive emotions, have a clean and pure astral body, I must know how to create a space where I can operate. It's up to me how much importance I give to what. I have to choose, and suffering is my choice. The ownership is in my hand, and I must do it now. I cannot just wait to change tomorrow. Change should happen from now, the very moment. The moment I realize, I must fix that. While we do all this, when we are clean, when we are pure, when we are kind of ready, we will be channels. You all know channels are like canals, wherein the water flows from the river to the farms, or maybe you could talk about the very water we drink at our homes. It comes from some source. There are taps in the house. If the taps are not clean, how much clean the water may be at the main source, if the tap is not clean, we will have filthy water flowing out of it. That's what we all are. We all are like pipes. We all are like channels. If we are pure, we are clean, the very positive energy of the universe, the very sparkling, bright life energy would flow through us. And it will flow through us to reach to others. Similarly, we can be like windows. Windows through which the sun shines. How I took these channels and windows, I must tell you. I took it from this book called I Promise, if you can see it on my screen. On my video. This small book, I Promise, by C. Jinaradasa, teaches us a lot of wonderful things. If the sun is brightly shining outside, but we have our windows and doors closed, can we say the sun is not there? No, he's very much there. He's sparklingly there. It will only come to the room when we open it, when we open the window. And another aspect is, if a room is dark and we all are inside it, we all are, kind of moving quickly, we will hurt each other. There will be collision. But when there is small light starts coming in, we will be more kindly. We will look for things. Okay, we'll walk properly. This is about life. This is how life is. This is how my life, your life, everybody's life should be. Let us open a window. Very often we hear from people, he's very closed-minded, he's not very open. Somebody speaks very openly, we say, oh, he's very open. Openness doesn't come out of like anything. Openness comes when we accept things. Openness comes when we are learners. We are ready to learn from anything, anywhere, everything, everywhere. That's when we will be open. Astral body control will happen only when we are pure, open, light. We are happy. We are openly accepting things. We are looking at things as is. That is where we can start controlling and having purification of the body. So let us be like a window. Let us be like a channel. And when we become a channel, we will keep shining. From the same very book, I thought I should tell these things. My looks, my words, my thoughts, and my actions. If my look is very bright. I can do a good makeup and come and look bright. But the very moment I open my word, what happens? Oh, he or she is looking good, but doesn't speak well. Maybe I'm speaking well, but I do something, then you realize, oh, he might be speaking quite good things, but our thought level is very filthy. His thoughts are very, kind of not very nice. Even our actions. All four things will be the parameters through which we will shine. The supreme life will shine through us. When our body and mind are clean and pure, the light will brightly be visible and the shining will be brighter. The light is all the time reflecting in us and making each of us like a little mirror. So let us keep this mirror clean and keep shining all the time. The more and more we create positive feelings, the more and more we do things better, the more and more we think better, feel better, some phenomena like this will work. First, we'll create a thought form. And that is very real, very living thing. The clearer the thought, the more well-defined would be the thought form. Also, the thought form can either be positive or negative depending my emotion. Once more, again we are talking about emotion here. Secondly, the act of thinking or feeling also will produce what is called a psychic radiatory frequency we are throwing through a transmitting tower. Every time we are getting frequencies from the universe, we also would throw frequencies. So like-minded people will get that. Negative emotion people will get all the negative emotion from us. Positive people would get positive emotion from us. So when we think and feel something strongly, we will radiate an energy filled with the quality of that energy. If you would have noticed, if you meet somebody who's very happy, very radiating, very energetic, you automatically feel the flow of energy inside you. But you go to somebody, he or she is very irritating, angry, always saying something negative, you will start avoiding. Every time I go, he or she is always in upset, he or she uses bad words. Why every time he or she is in worries? You will start getting repelled, getting pulled down. What are we doing wherever we are going? What about us? How people are observing us? Are we actually giving some positive energy to them, or are we just pulling them down? We can only give what we have. If we have positive energy, we are fully charged, we are a battery full of charge, we will charge others the way we charge our laptops, mobiles and everything. Let us be the chargers. Can we be? Yes, we can. Can we be the source of happiness for others? Can we be the center of happiness for others? The entire world might go chaotic. The entire world might go, nasty, negative. Can I be the only person to stay positive? Is it that commitment I can give to myself? Can't we do that? That is the first thing we should do. And from there the journey will begin. And I'm sure from there we will go to deeper into things, will create wonders. We are the creators, no one else. My life, I'm going to create. This is about positive, staying positive or keeping positive feelings. Very day we create things. Every time I wish somebody a birthday, I never say have a good day. I mean, this is a habit of me. I have never used, okay, have a good day. I don't know. I always say, okay, create a good day. Please create something good. Because I believe that if I'm able to some extent create my life, every human being, every living being on this earth has the tremendous power to create something. As a practice, I do it. I keep on doing it. I keep on saying, hey, happy birthday, create goodness, create something, do something. These action verbs will kind of push us. Let us do. Enough saying, let us do now. What we think and do will affect the way we feel. If we feel bad, that means we have got something bad in our thought or an action. If you are feeling good, something would have been done in thought level and action level good. This is life. Our feelings tell us. Very thing we think or do, our feelings, our heart tell us whether it's good or bad. We shouldn't go and ask people. We ourselves know it because our heart tells us what is good or bad. And for me, that is how the astral body functions. Thank you. I hope I did justice to this topic. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, Sister Rowena. Here is interesting, before other can speak or participate in discussion, let me show